Carl, look, I appreciate taking a bit of time out just to talk to me. And you've been in the network now, I think 6 years now, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, coming up to 6 years now. Yeah.
So first one into Lockforce brand, completely sort of clean slate. But what was your background? How did you get into what you were doing to become a locksmith? What was the story?
Well, I was in the motor trade since I left school, really 30 years, and I got to dizzy heights of group manager in the co-op with 26 dealerships, and I looked after the service and parts element. And service in the dealerships, the car dealerships, is paramount importance in their CSI, because the more CSI they get, the more manufacturer's bonus they get, which helps obviously the bottom line. So the CSI, I think, for instance, Land Rover is 97.9%.
CSI sort of satisfaction.
Customer service satisfaction. So customers are basically a customer. If you go in for a service or to purchase a vehicle within a car dealership, you will receive a phone call 3 days later asking for that experience, and that is what's combined together to see what score you've got. So that was of paramount importance to me as a group manager, to make sure that we complied fully with the CSI scores, because obviously you need that 100% bonus commitment back into the business. It's
that whole journey.
It's the whole journey. It's the whole experience. It's an experience from making the booking. So the experience is, how was the booking? How did you find us? Were you welcome? Was the job done, etc. All the way through. So it's not just how was the job, it's how was your experience. And I think from my perspective, from reviews, it's what's the experience of the customer. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So
we'll look at reviews in a minute. So you were in that, and then you just wanted a change.
Well, the co-op run into financial difficulties. There was a big scandal in the press, etc., etc., and I got they sold the business off, so I got the chance to take redundancy.
Okay.
So I took redundancy, and then I went to work for Peugeot for 3 months. I thought, I don't know what else am I going to do. I've done it all my life.
Not Peugeot.
Yeah, Peugeot. So I went to work for them and did it for 3 months and hated it. And it was a CSI gone stupid, and I thought, I can't be doing with this. So that's what made me look outside the box. And it was a conversation I had with a couple of chaps who were police guys, who brought it to my attention about lock snapping, because I'd never heard of what lock snapping was. I'd never even heard of anybody locally being burgled. And it was that triggered my mind, thinking, and I had, they tell me that all this lock snapping is going on, and obviously need locksmiths to go out and do it for the follow-up of the burglary, which got me thinking about locksmithing, because locksmithing is obviously 24/7, it's every day of the year, it's not seasonal, and it appealed to me. So that's what got me interested into Lockforce.
So you learnt the trade, and then you've just applied your previous knowledge.
Yeah, really, yeah, because obviously when I first started there was just me, so I had nobody really to help me. So yeah, I applied that really in the concept. But I know, when you talk about the overall picture and experience of the customer, it's been exceptional. That's the difference.
But do you find it's not the big things?
It's just the little. It's going over and beyond what the customer expectations are. Because if you ask for a service and it's a good service, you're not likely to tell people or review that person if it was good. If it was bad, you might do, because you've had bad experience. But if you've had an exceptionally good service, then I would, and I do as well. On Facebook, that's my sort of platform that I use. And I recently went on holiday, an absolutely amazing time in a lodge. The lady went over and above my expectations for that lodge, which give her a 5-star review for. The other situation recently, I went for dinner with my wife and my family, and she had a chicken dish, and it had hardly any chicken in. And she complained. The manager came over, and she was pleasant. She was professional. She couldn't do anything. She couldn't do anything better for us in reference. She offered some side orders while she made a fresh dish. She got the drinks, but she also came over after the meal to apologise again. and didn't charge us for that chicken dish, and turned a negative situation, because at that time my mindset was, this is terrible, I'm going to leave a nasty review, to exceptional, 5-star, and sometimes, especially in our industry, locks go wrong, unfortunately, problems happen, and it's how you deal with that negative situation to turn it into a positive. And a lot of my reviews are sometimes from when I've had a situation which I've dealt with and managed to turn that negative into a positive, and the customer's expectations,
Yeah, no, I think it is obviously the way you deal with it, and customers are humans, and they do understand you're human. I think it's just being honest and open with
Yeah,
them,
absolutely, yeah.
So you 6, 7 years ago you joined. Obviously things have changed a little bit. I mean, how have you found that change and evolution? Enjoyed it. You've got people around you now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously we can bounce. There's obviously my guys in the platform, some really good, some good guys out there that I learn things from all the time, and we're constantly sharing ideas. So, some of the practices that we've got in place now are very slick, very professional, and help you, especially when we're talking about reviews and getting reviews. Now we've got better platforms, we've got the ops system, etc. now that's in place. The website looks professional, and a lot of customers comment on how professional the website is. So you're portraying an image, and then did they get that image when the individual turns up? So they've got this website that's looking professional, and they've read it, they've made an inquiry or booking, and when you arrive, do you meet that?
The whole journey,
yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, you are. You talk about detail and from answering the phone, the positive nature of answering the phone, but you live and breathe it, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love the job. It helps. If you love the job, I think that comes across, to the customer as well. But again, you mentioned the phone call. So we've got a professional looking websites, and they all look good. But obviously, that first port of call is generally the phone. It's the phone call that the customer's perception is, have you met it? And if you met it, you're halfway there. So that first part of the journey you've ticked off, and you've done a good job. But again, it's coming across energetic, answering the questions, and dealing in a professional manner, really, and selling a visit rather than selling a product, I find.
But one of the things that always, bear in mind, you're the founder, the most successful franchisee in the Lockforce brand. And I don't know if you remember, we were at a network meeting probably 3 or 4 years ago, and you talked about your blue overshoes.
Blue overshoes,
I sat around laughing, but that shows me some of the detail you think about. But again, I think just tell me what made you do that, and how much of an impact has that tiny little thing had on you and the business?
I think. Well, ultimately, I would never dream of walking into anybody's house, whether it be a friend or anybody's house, and not offering to take my shoes off. But when I'm going into a customer's house, you don't really want to be dragging your shoes on and off, because we do go in and out quite a bit to the van. So quick overshoes, blue, I kind of blue. In fact, this is not scripted. There we are. Look, that's good. Yeah, I always keep them. Are always in my side pocket. Is just to put them on, and that's obviously you do meet and greet when you see your customer, big smile, but that's the second thing really they see is me putting my overshoes on. Regardless whether the customer says, "Oh, it's fine, it's hard flooring," I will still put them on. And walking in, and it's just that first impression. But yeah, you're right. I mean, like all the lockies, have overshoes now. I think the blue shoe covers is well known now.
And is it true the first pair you nicked in the local swimming pool?
Yeah, I still do. yeah, Hollins Hall. Yeah.
Am I right in saying that you've now got your next step is you carry when you leave your thing, you take your tool bag with you. I know these are little things, but don't you now have a little mat as well or something? Did I hear? Or is that just a rumour now?
No, that's just a rumour.
You just put a mat down before you put your bag down.
Well, if I'm putting when you're putting the lock casing out of doors, etc., some of them are very obviously oily. So when you're taking the multi-point locking system, you take it out, and a lot of time people have squirted WD-40 in. So the last thing you want to do is obviously get that on the carpet or the floor, etc. So yeah, but I do that's not for my knees, even though they are getting a bit old. But no, it's for putting down obviously when I'm taking the lock mechanisms out of doors.
A bit of a tip is don't use WD-40 in your lock.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Water-based dries up.
So go back a year now. You were getting reviews, but you weren't signed up with the idea, how's your mindset changed now with reviews? Because you've made a few comments about them.
Well, firstly on reviews, and probably everybody's had this situation whereby you've been to a job, you've done what you thought was a good job, and you've asked for a review, and the customer's not left you a review, and you think, what did I do wrong? Did you do an exceptional job? Was it memorable to the customer? Or did the customer just think you were just doing your job? Did you do a good job? So I think, from my point of view, now going to jobs and seeing the value in reviews, which is the most important thing, because obviously with trust, now we've got Google's listings on our Google sites, which has a massive impact, because when you're looking on Google, we stand out from the crowd. So it's like, it's a massive plus for me seeing the stars there, and that's what motivates me as well to get more reviews. But not only that, it's like a snowball effect. The more reviews you get, the customer, everybody now, and I remember Paul speaking last time, whenever you're doing anything, you go on TripAdvisor, or you go on anywhere that you're looking at, eat or hotels, you'll have a look at reviews. And I think now in our industry, it's vital, that you've got those reviews.
Yeah, as you say, I think the stars are a gimmicky technical thing, but they make you stand out without a doubt. And Google's a competitive area, but that's where you guys get a lot of your starting work comes through Google. You may get repeat work, but it is. But you have made it. You seem to have made it an absolute. You almost like I want a review off every job, don't you?
I do. Every single. Obviously, account customers can be a little bit more tricky in getting reviews, but I still ask, and the platform systems we've got helps for that, especially with the emails. Every retail customer that I will go to, my mission from start to finish is to do an exceptional job, and then ask. I actually ask for the review. And if you've done an exceptionally good job, why would the customer not?
No. And although you obviously started to use the ops system, the function is there. We actually copied some of your methods into the ops system.
Yeah.
You don't even think it's personal. You go the next step. While you have the ability to send the ops system, use it. You choose to spend the extra time.
Yeah, I do things slightly different in reference to, if obviously the majority of our work comes through the phone, and a lot of customers are calling on mobiles these days. It's very rare you get landlines. I say 80% of my business is through a mobile number. So once you've obviously stage one, you've confirmed the visit with the customer through the booking of the telephone system. I'll notify the customer as well at the end of my call or ask for the mobile number if I've not got it, just to say I'll send a confirmation text. Just off the booking, and also to track you when I'm arriving. So if it's a 3 o'clock booking, I'll send them a text just to make sure I'm on time. So as soon as I finish the call, I'll put that information into that's my motion thing on me doorbell, by the way. So somebody's just at my front door there. So where were I now?
You take their details down.
Yeah, take the details down on my phone. So I'll put the customer's name and the brief address down there on my system, on my phone. The main reason for doing that is if the customer rings back, I can personalise the call straight away, because I know it's Mrs. Smith or Brenda or whoever the phone call is, and it's not a cold call. So they know, and they think, oh wow, he's saved the number. But ultimately, then when I send them a confirmation text, so they'll forward straight away to say just a confirmation of the booking. So again, there's no misleading reference to the times, or we've got the dates or the times wrong or anything like that. So I'm just confirming that's when it is, and the customer hopefully will think, wow, straight away I got a confirmation booking. And then going to the job, I will send a text just to tell them know I'm on time. Now, one of the pet hates I can't stand is being late for a job for a customer, because I'm already thinking that expectation I've already dropped. But it does happen, you go to a job, you think it's going to be an hour, and it ends up being a 2-hour job, or you've got upsell, etc. So I always try and notify that customer if I'm going to be late as early as I can. So if I think I'm not going to get there for 3 o'clock, at 1 o'clock, I'll send them and say, I'm just running a little bit behind, it's going to be approximately 3:30, so that's still okay. Most customers will text back and say, absolutely fine, But you're updating them. There's nothing worse than, for me anyway, if I use any tradesman or anything, is waiting in and not knowing. is it going to
most
turn
people
up?
give you an AM or PM.
Yeah.
You give them a slot.